Right now, we'd like to bring on Andy Villamarzo to the broadcasting. Andy covers all the sports throughout the greater Tampa Bay area region. Andy, thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Great atmosphere in Brooksville for this one.
Awesome. First, we'd like to start off by informing our viewers the sports that you cover and where they can find your articles.
I cover high school sports in the North Suncoast area, Pasco County and Hernando County, and started dabbling in the Northern Hillsborough area, covering some of the North Tampa teams. So I'm all around the Tampa Bay area, really.
Well, make sure you check out this fabulous coverage of high school sports in our region. So, Andy, let's get right into it. We're looking on the halfway mark of the season, and this is where teams start to fine-tune themselves for the playoff push. Who are your top 5 teams from now until the playoffs?
Right now, the 5 teams I'm looking at that I think could be playoff contenders in this North Suncoast region. You got Nature Coast, who's playing here tonight. I've looked at them 4-0 start. The sophomore running back Christian Comer has been very impressive to me. 629 yards through just 4 games. I kind of liken him to Mike Weston from a few years ago. Very big back. Just linebackers at the high school level have problems tackling somebody who's 235, 240 pounds, because you're looking at 175, 180-pound linebackers. Then you got Zephyr Hills. They're off to a fast start. I see them being a team that should be able to make a push into the postseason. Wiregrass Ranch is a team I was very high on before the season. They just lost to Wharton here last week. Hopefully they can bounce back tonight against River Ridge. Last I heard, they were down 7-0. We'll see if they can kind of make a strong push. Mitchell, they were a team last year in Class 7A that was just on the precipice of reaching the state semifinals. They lost to Orlando Edgewater, who had a bevy of college recruits. And Springstead, I really like what the Eagles have done defensively. A much better team from a year ago. They were 2-6 this year, 3-1 start. Only losses to these Sharks, and that's nothing to be ashamed about.
It's going to be a lot of fun watching these teams as well as the others down in the final stretch. And of course, Andy, you know that you can catch some of these big matchups right here on the Gulf Coast Sports Network. Before we let you go, please let everyone know where they can track you on a daily basis.
I'm primarily as known as a Twitter guy. A lot of people, when they see me come to the games, they're like, "You're that guy on Twitter." My handle is @Villamarzo. So it's just the first letter of my first name and then my last name all together. And actually tonight we're gonna have a little Twitter space. It's something new, kind of like a radio podcast type deal. Around 10:45 p.m. people can find myself and a couple other reporters that cover football around the area. We're going to talk about the games that happened tonight, and it's kind of like our own little post-game coverage, of what goes on here in the Tampa Bay area, North Suncoast region specifically.
Thank you again, Andy, for joining us tonight. That was Andy Villamarzo. Be sure you follow him online and check out his articles. We'll have a link with his information in our game description after the conclusion of our game. Following that onside kick.